you know, is really unbelievable.
Mr. Son of a bitch.
I mean,
Mr. Son of a bitch.
His royal. Yes, yeah, no, I never imagined that we'd ever have a president like this, and I hope we don't ever have another president like this again.
Anything to talk about. Kimmel was given each one of them was given a reset except for Seth. I didn't even know he was still on the air.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody did. Everyone's watching Forensic Files.
Yes.
No one's watching Seth.
One of the greatest shows ever.
Yeah, but these guys, they had opportunities to reset. Kimmel could have came back and tried to be funny again, or bring guests again, or show any kind of change, but they're really going to ride this out to the last drop. What are they going to do when he's gone?
Tyrus just crossed a line no one saw coming when he went directly after Jimmy Kimmel, and now Hollywood can't stop buzzing. The longtime late-night staple might not be sleeping easy tonight, because this clash landed like a shockwave. It's the kind of showdown nobody planned, yet nobody can look away from. A powerhouse personality taking direct aim at the face of late-night comedy. The tension feels thick, like a verbal collision waiting to erupt. So what pushed Kimmel into the center of this storm, and why does Tyrus sound ready to challenge the entire industry head-on?
It's not the party, it's not the majority, it's the loud voices that scare people from saying what they believe and make you think twice about a joke or whatever, these things. And, a lot of their points are valid, but a lot of them are also just repulsive. And I mean, they repel people from, they go like, oh, you're no fun, I don't want to be around.
Tyrus has done it again, turning words into a force that hits just as hard as his old moves in the ring. The man who once dominated physical battles now delivers verbal blows with the same intensity. It feels like a main event showdown, except the arena is television and social media, not ropes and turnbuckles. Every statement lands with impact, and this time his target isn't another performer in costume. It's something far more sensitive. Tyrus may have traded the ring for the spotlight, but the ground still shakes when he speaks. His transition from fighter to outspoken commentator feels relentless, like a storm cutting straight through late-night television.
Are they going to be with Rosie O'Donnell in a 4-way Zoom podcast about Trump ruining their lives still?
I'm glad you didn't stop at 4-way. Although in my head I can see it.
Oh, come on, man. My mouth was open.
And standing opposite him is Jimmy Kimmel, Hollywood's self-appointed ruler of late night. A host known for leaning on cue cards and rapping moral speeches in punchlines. Kimmel built a career roasting others, but now he finds himself under the microscope. He's used to controlling the joke, not becoming the focus of it. Suddenly, the attention has shifted, and the contrast is unmistakable. One man forged his edge through real confrontation and experience. The other thrived in controlled environments fueled by applause. And that comfort zone is starting to show cracks.
Promise, I've only had one ex-wife. That's it. Okay?
Yeah, you tell
I had some scruples. Okay? I'll have one-night stands, but I will not marry people I don't love, okay? There's a certain line there.
You can't teach this cracker that.
I really think if they're going to continue to do a podcast, they need to bring their writers in.
Ooh.
Because that was brutal.
Terrible. They're out of touch.
It's like listening to two billionaires complaining about no one had change for their $100 bill at McDonald's.
This face-off feels unbalanced from the start. On one side is Tyrus, shaped by discipline, resilience, and real-world pressure. The kind of confidence that comes from enduring situations most people never face. From locker rooms to live studios, he's handled chaos without flinching. On the other side is Jimmy Kimmel, a host who once grew emotional on air and framed it as journalism. The difference is stark. Grit versus polish. Reality versus performance. Tyrus represents blunt honesty and lived experience. Kimmel, by contrast, leans on applause cues, production polish, and moral commentary that sounds powerful until it's examined closely.
Like 3 ex-lovers.
Yes.
Who just found out about each other.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all getting together to talk about the man they all still love.
Right.
And they're just sizing each other up, trying to figure out which one of us has the best shot to get back with him.
Yes.
They all get together, they compare notes, and they tell each other, yeah, you should never mention his name again. You should never mention his name again. You should never. Does he call you? Doesn't call me? He texted me last week. Oh, so I'm still in the game. That's all this was. That's just, and that's why nobody cares.
The internet sensed what was coming almost instantly. This was never going to stay civil or quiet. It felt explosive from the opening moments. Online audiences swarmed in before the exchange even fully unfolded. This wasn't just a disagreement between entertainers. It felt like a major event with sides forming fast. Memes spread, hashtags surged, and timelines lit up overnight. It felt less like commentary and more like a cultural collision. Every post amplified the tension. Viewers didn't just observe, they participated. The moment moved beyond comedy and turned into a full-blown digital spectacle, with millions watching it unfold in real time.
So annoyed. All I had was a crisp 100. They had no change. I was like, what is this world coming to? That's why I'm moving to Italy, girl. I know, me too.
Greg.
Like, it's just...
Can I say something, Greg?
Crossing guard goes, yeah.
How did you feel watching Kimmel cry?
One of his tears fell out. Hold on. You know, it's funny how this derangement's working, because it only seems to work if you have a camera in front of you.
Then came Kimmel's response, confident, polished, and delivered with the help of a teleprompter filled with carefully crafted lines. He leaned into familiar territory, smiling through the moment, supported by a perfectly timed studio audience. But then Tyrus stepped in without a script or safety net. No cues, no filters, no production polish. Just direct language and unfiltered critique. The contrast was immediate. Tyrus didn't just respond, he dismantled the image. The carefully constructed everyman persona cracked, revealing someone far removed from the realities he comments on. The moment didn't feel rebellious. Felt revealing.
About the ex-wife's club.
Yeah.
You know, they just sit around, be funny, or they're setting up for when they're all canceled, their tour. Their three-man show.
Yes.
Come watch us say how much we hate the president. The funniest thing about this whole thing is they act like he got into the White House, and right as he got in, he's like, your list that you wrote for him, for people to go get. It's like, ICE, here they are, go round them up. No one gives a frog's fat ass what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because if they did, they would have stopped that podcast immediately.
Right. Yes, that's right.
Tyrus cut through the gloss and called out what he saw beneath it. He wasn't chasing attention. He was calling for honesty. His critique landed because it came from lived experience, not performance. He spoke from the perspective of someone who earned his platform through persistence rather than privilege. Suddenly, Kimmel's image as a voice of the people felt fragile. The moment someone grounded challenged it, the illusion weakened. The irony was hard to miss. A host who once thrived on pranks and mockery struggled when faced with direct pushback. This time, the humor shifted, and the spotlight flipped.
Expected to walk into work, stepping over, crying, to your credit, libtards.
Yes.
Like, oh, excuse me, up tear.
Yes.
There we go. But it wasn't. Everybody went back to their lives.
Yeah.
So apparently the only way this heartbreak works is if you film it or force someone else to film it.
Right.
But to your point about Carson, we never knew his political affiliation because he was there to make everyone laugh. All the late night shows.
Then the audience reaction exploded. Social media turned into a digital arena. Supporters praised Tyrus for saying what many felt but hadn't heard on late night TV. Others rushed to defend Kimmel, digging up old moments to reframe the narrative. But this wasn't just about personalities anymore. It became a broader cultural moment. Tyrus didn't just criticize a comedian, he challenged a pattern. A system where satire turned into scolding and humor morphed into messaging. His words resonated because they exposed a disconnect between entertainers and everyday viewers. And that realization spread fast.
Clown went all in on ignoring reality and blames MAGA.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
So MAGA is desperately trying to portray Kirk's killer as not one of them. That man was any more full of he'd be a colostomy bag. That was 2 days ago, so Kimmel had the chance to walk it back, but he can't.
Before long, even industry voices began to quietly acknowledge that Tyrus had struck a nerve. Kimmel's familiar rhythm suddenly felt exposed. The contrast between scripted comfort and spontaneous authenticity was impossible to ignore. Online reactions intensified, memes multiplied, commentary poured in. Tyrus didn't just dominate the moment, he reframed it. Critics labeled him bitter, but supporters saw clarity, not resentment. Calling out recycled humor and predictable lectures isn't bitterness. It's observation, and audiences responded accordingly, signaling fatigue with formulaic punchlines dressed up as virtue.
Should be fired because it was such a big murderous election on one side that it should have been a reset. Because when it happened in 20, when he lost and Biden got in, I don't remember us doing an episode on coping skills. There was no line in the audience where I was like, thank you for coming. Thank you. We just like, well, let's keep going. And I believe we made fun of the situation and ourselves. So I always tell people, try to be the bigger man, which is ironic. But
impossible.
In this case, because the poor sportsmanship is coming from TV, normally I would say you can have one lap and smell your flowers, but go ahead and take 4.
The most revealing outcome of this clash was how clearly it exposed the thin line between comedy and activism. For years, Kimmel walked that line, presenting commentary as humor and humor as impact. Tyrus disrupted that balance by stating the obvious. Applause doesn't equal truth. The moment turned into a larger debate about what comedy is supposed to be. Carefully curated messaging or fearless honesty. Tyrus represented the latter, unpolished and unapologetic. Viewers responded not out of anger, but recognition. People want humor that challenges power, not shields it. In that moment, the audience made its choice. And it wasn't subtle. Tyrus didn't need approval to win attention. His message carried weight because it felt real. Kimmel, by contrast, leaned harder into polish and performance. But when the dust settled, one thing was clear. The truth, delivered plainly, hit harder than any scripted punchline. And late-night comedy may never look the same again.